National Federation Party, my colleague and former Member of Parliament, Brother Pramod Chand, the Management Board of the National Federation Party, Vice Presidents, General Secretary, branch reps, and members. The Minister for Home Affairs and Immigration, Honorable Yottukundundua, Minister for Employment, Productivity and Industrial Relations, Honorable Agnidev Singh, Madam Deputy Speaker, and Assistant Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Lenora Geregere Tambua, Honorable Minister for Assistant Minister for Women, Children and Social Protection, Honorable Sashi Kiran, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Before I go further, let me, on behalf of the party, express my personal as well as the party's deep sadness at the recent passing away of Randini Vanua or Nenbuke Buke and the Akeneta Matni Tambua, wife of my dear friend, colleague and Member of Parliament, former Member of Parliament, Ratu Suliano Matni Tambua. I had the good fortune of visiting her during the 2022 general election campaign, and the warmth and the love that she showed to us when we visited her was deep and heartwarming. I want to express my deep sadness to the Vanua of Nenbuke Buke, the people of Namosi, and the family members on behalf of the National Federation Party. And indeed, we will do that on behalf of the government when the government presents its recognition. Let me also congratulate my friend Pramod Chand for becoming the president of the party, because the president of the National Federation Party position has always been a very revered, a very responsible and important position, because the president's job is to keep the party going, manage the party, its finances, its structure, its branches, and steer the decision-making machinery of the party in a way that the party is always standing on principles, on its long-held values of democracy, freedom, and good governance. And so it's a responsibility that he has taken, and I want to thank him and all those, including the General Secretary, the Vice Presidents, and the Management Board. It is my privilege and honor to lead the other 4 members of the NFP Parliamentary Board, and the ministers in government as part of the People's Coalition government, which is led by a man who shows a lot of wisdom, experience, and patience in taking the coalition government forward. And I'm delighted, as our former leader, Justice Jairam Reddy, did when he worked with Mr. Sitiveni Rambuka to get the 1997 Constitution. I'm actually very happy and privileged to work with him as Prime Minister and as his Deputy and Minister of Finance to restore this country to a democratic, a prosperous, and a country that the world will like to see and be part of. As the Honorable Home Minister said, we are in government with 3 parties. Coalition governments have their own challenges. It requires a lot of patience. It also requires, as a party in government and as a leader in government, to not only negotiate, but also sacrifice and understand that there is a bigger picture that the country needs to follow a path towards. And that can be done only with the understanding and patience. And let me say this to those critics, and we have some in our own party, and that's fine, that is encouraged. But all I'm saying is that we need to understand that we are not going to be a party which is going to be out there in the public demanding things for ourselves. It does not mean that the party does not express its strong position on matters of national interest, on matters that the party holds dear. And that is understood very clearly by the leaders, the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Bill Gabokar, as leaders of the 2 parties. They understand that. And I understand it. And we do express our views very, very strongly when it is necessary. Because the government can only function if we govern with that process, and we are doing it. I know we have had our fair share of detectors, and the height of activity from those detectors in the last 6 months was significant. But let me assure you, our members, and indeed the whole country that the coalition government under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister Sitiveni Rabuka is strong, steady, and is clear about where we want to take this country to. There will be missteps, there will be mistakes, and the Prime Minister is always the first one to acknowledge them. But let me just give you a quick snapshot of what we as a government have achieved in the last 11 months. When we came into government, and I don't want to get into the details of what we inherited, whether it's debt, whether it's roads, whether it's hospitals, whether it's water, whether it's finances. You all know what we inherited. But we recognize the fact immediately when we came into government that our people were still transitioning from loss of incomes, from loss of jobs during COVID, and we realized that people needed help. So we immediately allocated $50 million to provide. This is just after a month in government, or less than a month in government, we realized it. And we made sure that we provided $200 to all those children from families which were earning less than $50,000, and we paid $200 to 227,000 students before they got to the school at the beginning of this year. Then we looked at the budget, and in the budget, we made sure, yes, we changed the tax system from three rates of VAT from 0, 9, and 15 to only 2, 0, and 15. And we kept the 21 basic food items 0 VAT, and we added prescription medicine. I was in a pharmacy this morning to catch up with a friend, and he told me the value and the joy on the faces of people when they come up with the prescription and realize that they don't have to pay the previous price. So there's a 9% reduction on every prescribed medicine that anyone goes and buys from the pharmacies in the country. Then we make sure that we increase the social welfare budget, and we increase social welfare allowances by $15 and $25. We increase every other allowance within the social welfare ministry, whether it's child allowance, family assistance allowance, all have been increased. We allocated the largest budget for the health, for the hospitals, for the nurses, to raise their salaries. We added new positions on nursing aides and nursing assistants because we realized that a lot of our nurses were leaving. There was a shortage. And you can see around the country today, health centers being fixed, painted, equipments upgraded in the last 10 to 11 months. Then we realized that our agriculture sector had gone down, our sugar industry had gone down over the last 10, 15 years. We increased the budget for agriculture, non-sugar agriculture. We've included for the first time subsidies for fertilizer, weedicide, for cassava, dalo, ginger, and rice. We increased the budget for support within the sugar industry or sugar cane farming development. The other big thing that we did, and this was a policy that one of our coalition partners, Sodelpa, had in their manifesto. We wrote of $650 million of debt that was sitting on the heads of about 53,000 families in the country and their children. The repayments that they were making every fortnight, every month, is now in their pockets. It's now helping those families. It's now helping them to look after their parents. And a lot of these students and families came from the low income category. That's what we did in the budget. More recently, we made sure that the sugarcane farmers, the highest ever cane price in the history of sugarcane farming in this country, $91.38. So these are some quick examples and snapshot of what the government has done. There are critics, there are rumors, misinformation being spread. We increased the budget for the Etoke ministry because for years they were neglected. The ministry was neglected with small amounts of budget. But let me just say this mischief and rumor that this government is discriminating against certain ethnic groups, particularly Indo-Fijians. This is being spread by our detractors. When we increase social welfare, when we give $200,000 to every student with their income, when we give subsidies to agriculture, when we put in $8 million additional to top up the price to $91.38 for the sugarcane farmers, where 90% of the farmers are Indo-Fijians. We're not saying that only the Etoke people are going to benefit from this, or the Indo-Fijians are going to be benefiting from this. It's coming from the very people who use race as a card for the last so many years. The mischief, the lies that some of them were spreading before the election. And all of you know, social welfare will be gone. The scholarship will be gone. This is what was being spread amongst the Indo-Fijian population by the campaigners in the Fiji First Party. And they are still lying, some of them. But what this government has shown, that this is a government that is for all the people of this country. Yes, we will have actions where our Etoke people deserve more attention. There will be areas where Our Indo-Fijian population will need more attention. And these are policies that is designed to bring the people of this country together. When 75% of those who live below the poverty line are Ethiopian people, that's a fact. So my message to the people of Fiji, and especially to our Indo-Fijian community, that let's move out of this misinformation, mischief, rumor that certain groups, certain ethnic groups are being discriminated under this government. It's false. It is a lie that is propagated because some people did that before and it's continuing. It will take time for it to move away. The economy, we just revised the growth rate from 8 to 8.2%. It is growing at the back of the strong recovery within the tourism industry. But there are big challenges that we face. In the resource sectors, our forestry, our fisheries, our sugar, our agriculture sector needs more attention. And in this budget and the subsequent budgets, we will be providing more focused support so that we can grow the economy better. We have faced a lot of shortage of labor. Sometimes it can be a good problem to have because there are a lot of jobs that people can now find. We are training more people. We are making sure that, and in fact, the salaries and wages in the formal sector, data from FNPF shows that it's actually gone up by 10 to 12% because the employers themselves are paying more to ensure that they attract workers. That is going to be our challenge. But the most important thing, and the Honorable Minister for Home Affairs touched on it, is to ensure that we have a lot of dialogue and consultation and focused approach in an inclusive manner to grow the economy. We cannot, the mischief makers are creating this perception that somehow there will be disruptions to policies, creating instability, economic instability. And as the Home Minister said, and I want to say this, that I, over the last 8-9 months, having been in government, having consulted, having met all the arms of government, the different ministries, I have every confidence in our ministers in government, the civil service, the military, the police, that everybody understands the importance of working together, the importance of stability, and the importance of not disrupting democracy and the governance through democracy if we want prosperity economic growth, and improve the quality of life of our people. I know the road ahead is not going to be easy. It never is easy for any country, and given the global geopolitical conditions, wars, geopolitical contestation, power rivalry, and what is happening in countries like Australia and New Zealand, where the inflation rate, where the cost of living is very, very high. And when we import things, and I just wanted to say one last thing about the cost of living. Yes, we have made some reform in the tax system. Before there were 3 rates, 0, 9 and 15. So some goods and services already had 15%. Some had 9 and 21 items had 0. And there was a lot of distortion. We were losing a lot of revenue because the employers, the companies were playing tricks as well. We have narrowed it down to 2. Our revenue potential has increased, and that revenue is going to be used to fix the roads, the hospitals, increase social welfare, support to our agriculture. That's what we are doing. But at the same time, the prices that were very high, some of the prices, and you will see from the supermarkets, I pointed that out in Parliament. The FCCC has put out a list. A lot of the items, the prices have actually gone down because the freight cost has come down. We've reduced duties on certain food items. So we are focused on addressing the issue of cost of living. But some of those is beyond our control. Let me conclude by saying this, that the caliber of ministers within the coalition government, the assistant ministers, is great. You look at the parliament, it is a cabinet government. It is a collective government. It is a government that is determined to deliver for the people. As I said, I have every confidence. And this is the message that we need to spread. You as party members, party supporters, party executives, you have a very important role to bring our people together. And we've done a number of things in that area. We started by declaring Girmit Day a national holiday. We brought back Ratu Sukuna Day as a public holiday. We had a fantastic celebration and commemoration of both the events. And it is now going to be a permanent feature, a national holiday to remember our forefathers and a national holiday to remember our statesman Ratu Selala Sukuna. The Truth and Reconciliation motion was passed in Parliament, moved by Honorable Shachi Kiran. And I can tell you today that the Honorable Prime Minister has entrusted Honorable Kiran to take forward the whole reconciliation, truth and reconciliation process. And I have every confidence that she is going to provide the best leadership for us to do that. And I commend her for moving that motion with dignity, with respect, and with understanding of why we need to do that in this country. Further action by the Minister of Home Affairs, allowing our people who left the shores, even if they don't have Fiji passport anymore, not only those who are registered in the Bolanika Umbula, that's another mischief that some people spread. It's for everyone who can trace that their parents or grandparents were citizens of this country at the time of the independence. If they want to come back, they don't need a permit to come, live, work, reside in this country. We want to bring our diaspora or give them the freedom and the opportunity to come back and contribute and live and enjoy the beauty of this country. So these are the things that we need to take out to the people as well. And I implore on you, all the party officials, party workers, 4 years is not a long time. 1 year has already gone. We have the next 3 years as a government to do as much as we can and lay the foundation for the next 4 years. And as a party, I urge you to also start thinking along that line. That the work has to start today. I know the expectation of the people on the new government, having suffered the dictatorship, having suffered the restriction on their freedom, on their ability, including the media, having suffered the restriction and the suppression and the threat and intimidation, they are now all free. And that is why you can see that we as a government have to answer a lot of questions, and we are happy to do that. We are happy to do that. To our media colleagues, to people on social media, people have the freedom. Somebody asked me on radio, they said, Professor, how do you feel people make all these cartoons of you, dress you up in different ways and make you smile? I said, those are blessings for me, Some of these people, anonymous people, are very intelligent people. They create good pictures and good stories. But I know that our people are more intelligent than those intelligent ones behind the screen. So, my plea to the party president, the vice president, the management board, is to get out there. We need to be with the people. The ministers, I know of Honorable Geregere Tambua, for example, Honorable Kiran. They have so much on their plate. Honorable Geregere Tambua has to travel at short notices sometimes to represent the government, to represent the Prime Minister, to represent Fiji in important international forums. They may not be able to be around all the time, to attend all the functions, to be chief guests, to be present. You know, this is the reality. Same with all the other ministers. And so I would ask party members to please understand, and please also, we have a good party administration. Our General Secretary is a 24/7 General Secretary. You call him at 2 o'clock in the morning, he's there, he'll answer the phone. Even if you try at 4 in the morning, he'll still answer your call. So he's like a 24/7 workhorse. And there are many others. And I'm so blessed and privileged to have people like him who do all this work. And I think we need to all give the support. Please also contact our ministers. They're all very good people trying very hard to meet the needs of our people. But as a government, we have to ensure that we do things that benefits all the people, the whole country. Once again, I want to thank all of you. I know members of the working committee are here from all the branches, right from Reki Reki to Suba to Singatoka to Mombasa. And I want to thank you, and I appreciate all the work that you do for the party, because for any democracy, the party is important. The party functions are very important. The party machinery is very important. We are not like some other parties who in existence for 8 or 9 years probably have never had a meeting or executive committee or convention. That's not NFP. NFP is a party that grows from the grassroots. So I want to congratulate all of you for all the hard work that you've done in Kotoka, especially our Kotoka branch. We need, of course, to do more, but as I said, as leader of the party, I am very pleased with the work that has been done. Thank you. Dhanyavad and Shukriya.
Thank you, Honorable Leader. And we have heard a lot from you, and we'd just like to thank you and your team in Parliament. You are doing a wonderful job, and it is our prayer. And not only that, I believe we should prophesy over all of you that you will be almighty in the Parliament in the next 3 years. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our heads together and thank all of you. Now I will give you a 5-minute break. You can refresh yourself. And we also take this opportunity to thank the media. We thank you so much, and we believe that all the writings will be in good form and in a good way. It will be encouraging to the people of Fiji. It is a time for us to encourage the people of Fiji and to build them up, not to tear them down. This is something very, very important. So my message to the media is please be very independent, be very fair, and be very honest and sincere. Thank you so much. God bless you. Take care.